What's up? It looks like we're wearing the same jacket.
Hey!
We're not wearing the
Kicks and the hash matching.
Jeez.
Look what the cat dragged. Have you heard a new Gigs video? Or new album?
I have heard, well, I haven't finished listening to it, but
I haven't started yet.
yeah, no.
I don't like listening to things when it's the talk of the town right now. Because I feel many don't digest things properly. They just eat because everyone else is eating. They're not eating because to marinate and actually consume and
that
indulge.
analogy is wild.
But it's true. People don't judge for themselves. They judge because everyone else is judging on something.
There's a song, it's called No Backbone, right? And the track starts, so I had to mention it.
Chiropractic?
There's a guy who starts the track. I think his name's A Star.
I watch chiropractic videos, you know.
That guy's verse is hard. He's like, God, listen to that. Do you know what I mean? It's called Now or Later, Gigs album. Yeah, man. Yeah, but anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Back to reality. Hope we go Saturday.
We was talking about
being in your 20s.
Yeah.
In the Western world.
Yeah. In this time.
It's a very first world problem. We both come. I don't know. Is Ghana a third world country?
Yeah. Well, apparently. I don't know. As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't have thought that.
I don't believe any of that stuff anymore.
Yeah, to be honest, you know, actually the terminology of third and first world country is not actually in terms of development of poverty. It's between the states that was supportive or against the USSR or the Brits during a certain war. But yeah, we both come from third world countries. So
I was born here though. So.
Man wasn't, bro. British citizen. But I wasn't born.
But yeah, no, I think that the topic was like dealing with being a millennial, which is what we're classed as, even though I'm in my late 20s.
Do you know what the term millennial means?
I think it starts from a certain point in the 90s, like 1990.
No, 80s. It's 80s. Yeah, it's 84 to 2003.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn
it. Okay. But anyway, being a millennial in this Western world, what's really going on? What's our thoughts? What's happening? Let's have this conversation. Because I was just talking about like, yeah, I was mad today. I spent a lot of time today just kind of being just down. Do you know what I mean? And just thinking like, it's like, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's people that we look at and we're like, damn, you're successful. You're doing your thing. People look at me like that, and people look at you like that. Yeah. Damn, you're successful. You're doing your thing. And it's like, in my mind, nah. Do you know what I mean? It's not enough around, do you know what I mean, families. It's not enough. Sometimes I block it, sometimes I'm like, that's all your problem. But other times I'm like, I can't deny, like, at this point in my life, at this age, if I look back in hindsight, I thought I'd be somewhere else, do you know what I'm saying? And there's like an inferiority complex that I'm dealing with, or I deal with sometimes when I hear, like, a family member or my dad might say something like, you know what I mean, like something wild that will put me down, and it will stay with me for like a couple days. I'm just like, how do we get over, do you know what I mean, our fears about not being successful? And yeah, like, what are we dealing with, and how are we like moving forward and overcoming those
you said a good one. How do we, the fears of not becoming successful? We're always kind of engineered to believe that it can be done. We're told that if you work hard, you can get this. If you achieve this, if you study hard, if you train every day to be a football player, you can get. But we're never told that even if you do all of that, it's still not guaranteed.
Yeah.
I know many people that are better than some Premier League football players. But
yeah.
there's some things that just doesn't work out. Vice versa. There are individuals further in their career than us in acting, but have done less the work than we have. But I'm pretty sure there's someone behind us who's put twice the work we have.
Yeah.
So we're always looking at self-reflection.
It's a comparison game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Comparison kills. There's always gonna be someone that's doing more than you, has more money than you, and And it's like, if I was in a situation where I had millions, there'd be like someone that's close to me talking about, nah, make sure you're not doing right, you know what I mean? Like, make sure you're investing your money right. Why are you buying these cars? Why are you buying this? Do you know what I mean? There's probably someone that's going through that right now, and it's like, how do we deal with that?
It's bad. You could be the poorest person.
Thing.
and they'll say, this is how you do to earn income. You can be the richest person in the room, and they'll say, this is how you should manage your money.
Yeah.
There's always that sense. The communication the comparison is a big thing. I generally feel, in particular parents, they are from a different kind of generation. Alright? If we're blessed to have children of our own, they'll have a different comparison way of living. Like example, I was actually thinking about it. Our kids will not see nothing wrong with same-sex marriage at all.
Yeah.
But to us, it's kind of a new thing.
Yeah.
But to us, it's a normal to see interracial relationships.
Yeah.
But our parents, it wasn't.
Yeah.
So there's always that thing that the generation before are not used to. And I feel that is where they always fall to compare to what they know. No one's gonna compare to what they don't know. It's like me saying, I don't know if I should, driving a Ferrari today will be better than driving a Lamborghini. I mean, I'm not in that world, so I can't compare it to it. I know that was a terrible analogy, but trying to paint the picture.
No, I get you. My parents, another idea I always talk about in regards to my parents and the way they see things is I always see it like this. I did everything but one thing, right? So they were like, okay, we're gonna raise our kids in England, right? I was born in London. Mission 1 complete. Cool. Want my kids to go through primary school and secondary school and get good GCSEs. I did that. Well, I didn't get great GCSEs, but I got 5 A to C's and I got through. Mission 2 complete. I want my kids to go to university and then graduate. Also, like, get A-levels and graduate, whatever. Get through university and graduate. Boom. I got into university. Was initially studying what they wanted me to study, then I switched it around. I was studying business and creative writing. Then after 2 weeks, I was like, I can't. So I dropped out on business and I picked up drama. And I was doing drama and creative writing for a year, and then I switched to creative writing, which I actually liked, was poetry, but I didn't like my lecturer. Anyway, ended up doing drama and journalism. And I graduated in it, right? With a 2-2, but graduated, nonetheless. Mission 3 complete. The final mission, get a good job. That's all I had to do. I got over every hurdle. I was like, nah, I want to be a creative. I want to be self-employed. I want to be an actor. At the time, I wanted to be an actor, and that was it. And along that journey of wanting to be an actor, I picked up, do you know what I mean, modeling, and I picked up voiceover work, and I picked up YouTube, and I was always doing YouTube, but I really now I'm starting to take YouTube a lot more seriously. And when I look back, I'm like, damn, I've made so many awesome friendships and made some relationships and made some amazing memories. And it's like, yeah, I can understand their perspective is like, you just needed to do one last thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're wasting the opportunity we gave you. We've come to this country to give you the gold dust, and I'm being born here. I'm like, this ain't gold dust. Working underneath the man, do you know what I mean, with the tie, in building with the suits and all that stuff. That ain't the gold dust.
You know, there's 82% of people in the West world are not happy at their jobs. That is a ridiculous number.
Yeah, man.
Comfortability is dangerous, and many are just taking the comfortable route.
People are following their ideas. It's like, go after the idea I have for you. It's like, I don't want the idea. Do you know what I mean? People are chasing the idea of success. And the idea of success is like, type in success in Google. What comes up? Do you know what I mean? Someone with a suit, or let me actually Google that actually. What comes up when you type in success?
Probably successful person, maybe.
Okay, successful person. Successful people. Images of successful people. Yep, I see people in suits, money. Okay, Michelle Obama. More people in suits. Everyone's wearing a suit.
Michelle wears suits.
Everybody is wearing a suit. The idea that, do you know what I mean, success, you know what I mean, correlates with suits wearing is mad. Like, I like a suit, but
at an outing.
You know what I mean? A lot of successful people don't wear suits.
It's true. As you guys gathered, it's not going to be a normal, hilarious podcast.
Because I'm mad.
Yeah, and I received some nonsense of emails today, so It'll be a lie if we gave you false energy.
You want to talk about?
No. Because I've got my firm, my legal advisors that are addressing me the situation.
Nice.
But yeah, it's the thing where they always want the best for us, our parents. But they need there's many things, like I say, most of our parents were out of the house before 25.
Here's another thing I want to talk about, and it relates to what you're talking about in terms of moving out of the house and also success. What's your idea of being a real man, if you know what I'm saying? Because I think it might be different when we're talking about girls. I mean, I'm not a girl, so I can't relate. But as a guy, I think one of the last things we want to get called is weak. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're a weak man. That's like calling, if I could relate it to women, I think it's almost just as bad as shaming a woman's body. Do you know what I mean? Calling a woman fat or ugly or whatever and critiquing the way she looks is probably just as bad on the other side. You're basically calling a man weak. So I'm thinking, for you, what's the idea of a strong man or a real man in your mind?
So that changes now. In essence, I always will look at my dad as a strong man. The elements was dominant, provider. But then here we go. The reason why I stopped myself there is because I'm always learning. Because I came across so as humans, we are in essence probably de-evolving than evolving. If you look at ancient statues in Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, any of these indigenous places, you'll see when you have the couple statues, it's usually the woman.
Sorry. I'm just trying to turn the heat on because it's getting crazy.
It's usually the woman that you put the arm protecting the man. But the male ego kind of, I don't know where in the history line they kind of turned it that they are the protector. Yes, they may be physically stronger, but everyone knows the strongest muscle is the mind, and most women tend to be taking the box for that department. So I would originally say a man is someone who provides, who's dominant, but now I'll probably say what defines a man is probably who can stand on his own 2 feet. However, that's why it sounds contradicting, because everyone needs helping hand once in a while.
Yeah, but it's the thing, and I know what you're doing. I get it. I totally get it. If I'm being honest, in my mind, the idea of a strong, real man is a provider.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
right?
Yeah.
But with regards to this conversation that we're having right now, we're saying that if you haven't got loads of all the money in the world, and if you ain't, do you know what I mean, the strongest man in the world, and do you know what I mean, like, all those things, that doesn't necessarily take away from you being a real man. So, okay, in my mind, right, and I think I was saying this to my dad the other day, we had a conversation. I should grab my dad in this podcast, right? Anyway, imagine my dad in this, oh, I'll be so mad.
I'll come in a suit, just to look successful.
Yeah, he was basically saying that if you ain't got money, you're not a real man. He said something like that, and I was like, but what about the man that has no money but he's still finding a way? Yeah, I'm inspired by that man, and I'm actually, if anything, I've seen you be that man. I've seen you be that man that's like, it seems like everything's falling to crap, but you're still, do you know what I mean?
You find and you still bring home bread somehow.
It's like, yeah, you're still, I wouldn't say, I can say leading, do you know what I'm saying? I guess you're still, that the idea of money hasn't destroyed you, do you know what I'm saying? Not having money hasn't put you in a place where you've given up on yourself.
Yeah. And
I say all that to say that for me is the part of my dad especially that I'm inspired by, do you know what I'm saying? So that when that man that I'm inspired by then says, if you ain't got money, you're not a real man, it's like, there's a part of me that fights with that.
By the way, parents are very hypocritical. Say, oh, you should not drink. All right, we could see. I would love for our parents to see. We could see our parents before they had us.
Yeah. Damn, it looks like Jesus is behind us.
We're not walking into the light. I don't think my parents were wild, but I think they were more outgoing than what they shut me down for. They always say, "Oh, I'm always going out." I was like, "Where did this DNA come from?"
Yeah, like I'm here because my mom said something about me before. I think she said, I don't know what she said, but I was like, what did I say? I said something about. You know what I mean? I'm here as a result of you. So technically, this is your fault. You know what I mean? Technically, this is you. You know what I mean? This is what you put into this world. It's your responsibility.
This is your legacy, huh?
This is me. I'm you. You get that? Anyway.
What traits or personality do you think you got from your parents? We always say, "Oh, you look like this," or "Oh, that." Yeah, but what do you think in terms of characteristics have you taken from your dad and your mom?
I think there's even though I'm really talkative, there's times where I'm really silent, and yeah, I get that from my dad. When I'm like when I'm worrying, when I'm thinking loads, I just kind of like, I don't want to talk to nobody. I kind of go into my little silent mode. Also, something I clocked him do the other day is when he's like agitated, he moves his legs around a lot, or he hobbles his legs or his feet. I do that, bears. The really raw sense of humor. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get that from my mum and dad. Like, I will say some of the most darkest things, but not to hurt anybody, because I lead with love, which is also a thing I get from my dad. But in my emotional, convoluted way of expressing that love, I sometimes say the most raw things. Raw, do you know what I mean? So yeah, so I think there's a lot of things I get from my mum and dad actually.
Yeah, of course, there's so many, yeah.
I'm scared of heights, that's from my mum.
Oh, okay.
I'm overcoming that though. I've been on every roller coaster in Thor Park. That's my way of like justifying.
Hey, Disney World's coming though.
Yeah, you've been saying
I'm hyped over that. Biggest Disney World coming to London.
But yeah, no, so yeah, what about you?
I'm still thinking about Disney World, bro.
You're a clown. How are
You
you gonna move from this deep, serious conversation to Disney World?
Because Disney World is lit.
Focus, Frankie.
Nah, bro. You haven't been, that's why. Once you've been.
This is the problem. This is why we can't have topics. Because you want to talk about Disney World, or we're talking about serious things. Go on then, have your Disney World.
Life's not meant to be serious. Surprisingly, the sports comes from my mother.
Is it?
Yeah.
What sports do you play?
Football, basketball, swimming.
Jeez.
What currently now?
So
or what I tried out, or what?
No, what sports would you say you get from your mum? Like,
I don't get the sports because my mum was international level at netball.
Okay.
She played for our country and everything. So, yeah. My dad, he tried his bit for football.
Okay. I said he tried his bit.
Hey, sometimes you gotta give credit to people's efforts.
Africans in football, man, it's different.
Yeah, great footballers.
I'm saying, like, have you
some of the best players ever?
I'm saying, have you watched football with an African man?
Oh, with an African? Yeah. With my dad.
The shouting is ridiculous. Like, the insults are ridiculous. Pass the ball. Pass.
South Americans are louder, bro. Right?
Shots. Shoot like bear.
South Americans will start fireworks when your team's just equalized. Them man are different, bro. They love that. They put your ball.
Pass the ball. Head it.
Why are you not passing, huh?
Head it.
Use your head and head up. But yeah, my mom was a netball. So me and my oldest brother were quite big in the sports. She loves to dance.
Yeah.
Dance? Exactly. Yeah, that's all her. Wisecracking and sense of humor is from my dad. That guy's he's the funniest person I know.
Is it?
That guy is funny as human, brother.
Is it? Funnier than me.
See, when I said the funniest person in the world, I meant everyone except. Oh no shit. at your age.
Yeah, man. Shout out parents though, man. They do what they can. I know. Hopefully, we're blessed enough to have kids, and
I think I've already mentioned it before. I thought I mentioned before.
Go on.
But I think I said it in the first part. Most of my female friends think I'll be a better dad than a better husband.
Really? You've had them kind of conversations?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I think you'll be a better dad than a husband. That sounds like shade. How did you take that at the time?
In essence, they may be right. However, I feel like saying it like it's a 90 dad, 10 husband. I think it's probably at least a 55-45 kind of ratio. They say like I'll be I could be romantic, you know. I think it's the whole.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. For me, I love kids. But I'm always trying to better myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm the kind of person where, I mean, someone can vouch for this, hopefully. If I mess up or if you have a problem with me, I will try and figure out what the problem is and correct it. But not so much so that, but this is the problem. Like, again, it goes back to the whole man being a man thing. Every now and then I'll get to the point where I'm like, but I'm not soft. Do you know what I mean? I'm not you can't make me a girl. You can't make me into a youth. You can't make me into a child. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'll try and correct all my... I'll try and correct the wrongs, and I'll be really genuine. Well, I'll try and be really genuine about it, and then eventually I'll get to this point where I'm like, but I'm not a dickhead though. You know what I mean? Like, it's so bad that I get like that, but it's the
violence
ego.
In volume doesn't. Many boys in men bodies feel like stating order or stating intimidation makes you the superior, which is incorrect. A lot of boys really don't know how to look after themselves.
Yeah, real quick, I want to go back to that boys and men body thing, because I think that can be, that's harsh. That's really harsh, because everyone's figuring it out. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's thinking, and I think the idea of, and the way I see the idea of being a man is to have it all figured out. And I don't think any man has it all figured out.
So they shouldn't live in denial about it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about boys, but I don't think the boys in men body is can be attributed to the first thing you said. I've forgotten now. What was the first thing you said?
You stopped my flow. So
sorry. No, so I wanted to. I had something to say in response to what you said that I didn't necessarily. Well, I wanted to challenge you on. But yeah,
I guess we'll never know.
Well, yeah. I mean, we will. That.
Yeah, when of course I said that, I completely forgot the camera was here, or the podcast. You know, obviously rewind 30 seconds.
Yeah,
or whatever. But
this is gonna cut out in a couple. I'm always ready. 23 minutes means it's gonna cut out. What's gonna cut out? What? Now, watch. Now.
So anyway, as I was saying, most of my social media followers are from former students. So
now,
I'm gonna take this chance to say those students are the reasons why I made, because I'm really good at kids, and most of my students are all grown now. So shout out to my former students in Spain, Italy, Senegal, Benetton, old.
See, I've clocked it. I've done enough of these edits. Jesus is behind me again.
French Woods, Brazil, MIH, all them students. They know how much of a great job I've done with them, and so do the companies. So that, and also all the girls and fellow ALs know how great I'm a student, so they just say you'll be a great dad. But okay, do you know how many kids you want?
I don't know how many kids I want, but I know that I definitely do have a lot of love for kids, man. And I think I would love one of my own. But then I start having these conversations with certain people, and they're like, population, and there's so many kids that like are orphans and that you can adopt. Why not adopt? It's probably better for the, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I get that too. I understand you, but man wants the thing that looks like me. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to know how he functions or she functions. Does she do similar things I do? Does she rub her nose like this? Does she say, do you know what I mean, a lot? Do you know what I'm saying? Does she say stuff like, yeah, I mean, he or she?
I definitely want to have my own extension of myself. I think it's a crazy thing to just this moment that created something.
Who's this guy outside my car there?
He's just done a shift, allow him.
Like
But yeah, the essence of having children is a beautiful concept, which I'm blessing that I do have. If it comes, it comes. It's all in divine order. In essence, God and a spirit above and within.
And also, it depends on if any. Whoa! Someone's got the full beams on our face.
Beam.
Hey, beam. Yeah. Also, it depends on like.
You know, they were playing that song
This
in
guy sag over my whole point. No, go on.
in New York. They were playing Premier Go when Donald Trump got kicked out.
Okay.
That was mad random. It was in the streets. They had a street party, and then someone just put it on loudspeaker.
Jesus, what is this guy doing?
Boom,
Thank you.
and it was that song is.
Oh, stop raining now.
Do you know how big that song was in France?
I had a point to make. I'm gonna make it. All right. My point
Shout
was,
out Magic System.
if we
Côte d'Ivoire, l'Africa. Allez Afrique.
Next time you have a point, I want to interrupt the shit out of it. I want to start singing Batman and freaking Robin. The Batman Robin song. Yep, I'm going to do that.
Why does everyone say Robin is gay?
I don't know who says that. No idea who says that. Can I make my point now? Okay. My point was, damn, it's very loud. You can't win. My point was, we're talking about having kids and how many kids we want. I think it's about the woman. Do you know what I mean? What woman are we going to end up with? What woman do you think you will end up with? And what's her idea of a real man? That's deep. She doesn't exist in my life right now. But what's the woman? Do you know what I mean? Like, what's her idea of a real man? And do I have to conform to the idea? Or do I have to define for myself what a real man is? And does she have to get to know the program? That's a deep question. That's a deep question.
In essence, from my experience, most of previous girlfriends, I didn't need to give too much of a persona and character. I didn't need to be Frankie Clarence. I was just simply Frankie, and everything just flowed naturally.
Yeah.
When you don't try too hard and you just let things flow in its essence, it just works brilliant.
Would you say you were being a real man?
If by me being myself and in content on my 2 feet, then yeah, probably.
Hold on. So, a 14-year-old kid right now is walking around and defining himself as a real man. Is he right or is he wrong?
Wrong.
Why?
In essence, okay. I answered too quickly. In theory, he is wrong because of his age. However, many do have to grow up early.
Yeah.
Many, especially in poverty-stricken places, there's literally 12-year-olds. You see videos, 12-year-olds washing their little brother, helping the mom prepare, or helping the dad prepare the day, cooking. Basically, all these things our parents would do, but basically
providing. Basically.
Yeah. And
so a provider is a real man.
I wouldn't. That's to say, it's not a simplistic answer. This is simply say that is what makes a man.
Because if I'm being, the reason why I keep asking about real man is because that's why the conversation about you haven't got money, do you know what I mean, bothers me. So that's the reason why the conversation about success, the reason why success, the conversation about being successful bothers me, because in my mind, I associate success and being a real man with being a provider. You know what I'm saying? And if I ain't got money in a certain given moment in time, you know what I'm saying? Then and I'm not providing necessarily, or in a position to provide, then I'm not a real man. What's funny?
That was a It's not even that funny. And it was more funny because I'm the only one laughing. You know when you're from. Ah. Oh no, I'm gone. Bro. Oh, it's not even funny, bro.
It's funny, man.
Honesty, do you know what it?
What was
You're
it?
gonna laugh as soon as I say it. What was funny? Jesus is not coming. Well, Jesus is coming.
Hey,
Nah,
I was even thinking that, hey, now you get cancelled for that.
Jesus is coming, but I'm not talking about from behind.
How you know?
Because in Christ,
What was funny, man?
it was first original thing was I was thinking about what you said about the way I drink water.
Oh, that's so random. This whole time I thought you were like laughing at my point.
No. I was not. The second was you looking at me. Third, I wasn't getting there, but I know sometimes when I laugh too much, I end up farting. But then I heard the bus make a doot, and it sounded like my fart. So I was. And then the last
That's the
one.
thing about you, man. See, you're one of them guys, yeah.
And the last one, when you're running,
That's it,
looking
yeah.
into the distance, you look like that car. I don't know what car. It's one of them Sesame Street characters.
What is your mind is everywhere, bro. Like
I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna send you the picture of the character and put it on there, above. You look like that blue character with the unibrow, bro. Just
this whole time I was like, he's laughing at my point. I must have been. Did I say something stupid? My point was deep as
I
well.
can't even remember what you said, brother.
I was saying, can't repeat it. The reason why the idea of being successful, or the reason why the idea of or someone saying, do you know what I mean, you haven't got money so you're not successful, bothers me. It's because I associate having money and yeah, being a provider as being a real man. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of maturing out of that idea. But when you go up to it, it's very evident. If you approach a girl and you start talking to her and then she's like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, I don't do anything, I just stay at home. That's a turn off. Why? Because you're not a provider. And it's not that that's the case. I'd never say that because that's not true. But if I was to say that, it's the furthest thing away from the idea of a real man. Do you know what I'm saying? Versus saying that, do you know what I mean, I'm a multi-millionaire. It's like, oh my gosh, he's a real man. Automatically successful. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think many would say, oh my gosh, a real man when they hear millions.
Yeah, I know, but he's like, he's multi-millionaire. How'd you get? I'm a sole trader or whatever. Not sole trader, but like I'm an entrepreneur.
Trading
it's like,
212.
saying, you're not just saying I'm an entrepreneur. You're saying I'm a real man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I personally know some very wealthy. I don't personally know, actually. I'm chatting rubbish, but I know of, just from watching like certain programs on TV. Damn. Yeah, I personally know of I don't personally know. I've seen people that have millions and they're dickheads. Like,
oh hell yeah,
dickheads. And I've seen people with no money, very little money, and they are the most beautiful people.
The happiest people
you know what I mean?
in the world.
And it's like, what? You have no money and you're so generous. Someone that has nothing but will give the shirt off their back. And that's the man that I'm inspired by. Do you know what I'm saying? Not the man that's got millions and millions. And it's like, and because I know that innately, I'm troubled with this whole idea of being successful, because I'm striving to be like that multi-millionaire that's a dickhead. But I also know that in my heart, I'm inspired more so to be like the man that has nothing, but is the wealthiest. Do you know what I'm saying? In his nature.
No, that completely makes sense. The world doesn't need more successful people.
In that idea of successful people.
It's true. I want to take a beautiful shout out to Zane, the local homeless guy of Shoreditch. Great man. He taught me a lot in that sense of there's a difference between a homeless person and a beggar. A homeless person is very, very content with what they have and what they need, and they won't fish out for what they want. Or, in essence, what they're saying, they're not going to ask people to give them X, Y, Z.
But do they have the cups and ask, like have?
No.
If
Homeless person and beggars. A homeless person is generally, they don't have cups or anything, and because of the essence and the way they represent, naturally people give them things without them asking, and they will not go out their way to say, can you give me this, they know that getting £3 from someone won't have longevity than someone giving them something with more meaning to it. Beggars are the ones who say, oh, give me this, If you notice, beggars are always tend to be quite clean. Not to say homeless people are not clean, but obvious reasons they're unhygienic. They're not as hygienic because they don't have access to water. But beggars, some of them have quite decent clothes. Just if you wash it a little bit, it's quite all right. They're always wanting more. They're a product of begging for what they want, not necessarily what they need. So I just want to take this moment because I've seen him like a few of my. Zayn has a phone.
I was about to say, like what?
He likes
Zayn.
Yeah, he likes our posts on Instagram. He liked the last podcast.
Has he charged his phone?
Local shop charges for him. Literally, they give local barbers gives him haircuts.
Shout out Zayn, he's got it figured out.
Yeah, Zayn's cool, bro.
Does he have a girlfriend?
That's the thing. So
shout out that girl if he has a girlfriend.
He doesn't have a girlfriend, but I feel Zayn seems active.
What makes you seem?
Because he tells me.
Really? What do you?
No, I'm not gonna put his business in blast, but yeah, Zayn's about, bro.
Shout out them women. If you're a woman out there that's been with Zayn, get in touch because I'd love to speak to you about like what attracted you to a homeless man. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I genuinely want to know because there's a lot of superficial women out there that would be like, "What? You work as a bin man?" Do you know what I'm saying? Bin man get paid bare money.
Bin man get coins.
You get paid. You know what I mean?
McDonald's assistant manager.
I'm not touching you. Do you know what I'm saying? So let alone a homeless person. I'm interested in that. Right now, I'm just like, I think now is a really important time for men, especially in this time of hypermasculinity and all that stuff. It's really important for men.
Really? I think it's declined.
Well, whatever. I'm just basically saying right now it's really important in this time to define what a man is. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is a real man in this time, in this generation? What is a real man? And I know, for me, it's someone that provides, is a provider, and someone that is, I don't know how to put it in, I don't think there's a word for it that's come to my mind right now, but someone that puts, if you have problems, it's like, I'm going to put that on my back and deal with it. Do you know what I mean? A responsible man. Do you know what I mean? Someone that doesn't necessarily have all the means in the world, but is willing to find a way. The find a way man is the man that I'm inspired by. Do you know what I mean? And a loving person, the person that is like, constantly open with the heart. So that's the person I'm inspired by as I go on this journey to try and make the money that the successful man in the suit has, but also be a man of integrity.
And you will. God's willing.
God's willing, man.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave it at that then.
Yeah? You tired of this podcast?
No.
You ain't gonna...
It's usually this time. We usually do it like half an hour.
Okay.
Sitcom.
You got any final points?
Yes and no, but I don't know why my voice is like this. So
you got a final point then? If you got high pitch, it means you're lying.
I just said yes and no.
Okay. Well, you said no, so no pit was a lie.
But my mind is telling me no.
Final point. What's your final point?
Go at your own pace. Everyone's trying to figure it out. You can relapse as many times. It's okay. You, after all, are a human. I've relapsed in many concepts plenty of times.
What do you mean relapse?
Like losing weight or working hard or staying focused or whatever the concept is.
God?
Which one, huh?
Which one?
Yeah.
This is a
Could
time.
be Buddha, Jehovah.
Yeah.
Allah.
Ooh.
What other gods are there?
What other gods are there?
What gods do you?
Golly, man, turn that down, boy.
Turning the lights in there, baby.
Alright, turn on another light.
Extra bright, I want you.
That was a sick point. I like that point.
Yeah, so I dropped my bottle. I'm going to pretend that was a mic drop on what I said.
Genius. I want to kind of go off what you just said as well and say don't be too hard on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing I think, because that's something I'm trying to remind myself all the time. Don't be too hard on yourself. So go on your pace, go at your own pace, and don't be too hard on yourself. Yeah. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. My boy Mikhail told me about that, and I thought it was genius. Start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. And yeah, don't be too hard on yourself, man. We're figuring it out. Should I say my age? I don't want to say my age.
I'm not.
Yeah, you be nervous about that stuff.
Why am I nervous?
Oh, no.
We just don't.
You don't know who's watching.
Not even that. It's just that the world doesn't need to. Social media doesn't need to know everything.
Yeah, true. All right, I'm in my late 20s, right? So anyone that's watching this that's younger or that's late 20s too, maybe I can be someone of reference. Yeah, I ain't got it figured out. You go on my social media and be like, what? He's doing his modeling thing. He's been in a few things and blah, 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 blah. I've not got it figured out. And there's a lot of things I want to achieve, and I'm not in any way, quote unquote, successful in the way I thought I'd be at this point in my life, if I compare where my mind was at when I was in my teens. So yeah, the journey continues. We're figuring it out, and we're going to continue figuring it out together. And yeah, support one another, talk to one another.
How can they support? Where can they support?
I mean, just like talk to your brother. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm here. I'm really out here. I'm the kind of person you can message.
That was me trying to say they can support by watching, sharing our pod.
That's cool, but beyond that, like, yeah, that'd be nice, and to get loads of views and be successful in that way would be fantastic. But bro, if I'm talking to someone right now and I can help you, do you know what I mean, have the courage to take another shot at life, then that's the kind of success I'm interested in. And if that's the case, if that's what you're interested in doing, then yeah, my DMs are open. We can start off with a conversation on the DM, all of a sudden phone calls, all of a sudden coffee and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about people and helping people. I really am. And so
down in the DM.
So yeah, man. So yeah.
My DMs are dry.
How we gonna end this? Your DMs are dry?
Yeah, bro.
It's because you ain't got no sauce.
It's true, bro.
I said it's true.
I've got... My style is impeccable. It's a bad example today. But boy... And
on that bombshell, we're going to end the podcast. I told you I'd get you back.
That was in a deep point, though.
Too good at that. Alright, cool. Subscribe, follow, like, share, and be nice.
Alright, peace for you. We out.
Bye.